it's Melissa. Happy Monday. I'm sorry I wasn't here all last week. It was a crazy, crazy week. Like a million things I'm trying to do. Get ready for All Things Silhouette, which is in like, I don't even know. Terry keeps sending a countdown. But anyway, I'm back. And I have a fun studio tutorial for you today. We are going to walk through a project that I get a lot of questions about. How to, A, make an outline of a shape. And B, how to then combine it so you can add or weld text to it or whatever. So these are popular with states, so we're going to do that today. So I'm going to flip you around so you can see my computer screen. And let me just tell you that for the last half hour, I have tried to figure out how to do a screen share, and it's eluding me for some reason. Anyway, I even emailed Mandy from Sparkleberry. I'm like, help me! She's told me what program to use, and it's not working for me. So bear with me, okay? All right, it's Monday. All right, I'm going to flip you around. We're going to go from there. Okay, you're going to get a tour of my office. Don't judge the messiness. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. And actually, the awesome thing about this is the entire thing is made from fonts, okay? Even the state. All right. Okay. So that's a dingbat font. You guys know dingbat fonts. I love them. They are fonts that come across as shapes as opposed to, or little characters as opposed to letters. All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to keep this piece in mind. I'm going to put this over here, and we are going to start by opening our text tool. Okay. And I am going to just type in any letter. All right. And I know that my State Shapes font is called State Face. So I'm going to go over to the right hand side and open and find State Face. All right. And you can see that A is for Alaska. Well, it doesn't really work. That I don't think C is for California. No, is that Missouri? I think that might be Missouri. Okay, anyway, so if you go to your glyphs panel though, which you will need designer edition for, you can easily find the state that you want. So you guys know I live in California now, but my heart will always be with Delaware, right? That's my home state. So we're going to use Delaware, but obviously this works with any state. So right now what you have is a solid state. All right, so I can fill it in. If I cut this on vinyl, I would be weeding away this white area, this white area, and I would be left with a solid state of Delaware. However, if I want it to look like California, you can see here, this is transparent, okay? This is a frame. What I need to do is use the offset, okay? I'm going to actually make this back to transparent. Hopefully you can still see that, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave the text panel there because, excuse me, we're going to need that in a second. But first thing that you want to do is open up the offset panel, which is the star on the right-hand side. And just click offset, and what it's going to do is put that slight offset all the way around. Now, you can decide if you want curved corners. See how down here it's kind of curving? I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Whoops, when I did that, it took the offset. Hold on. I'm going to undo it, and then I'm going to zoom in so you can, I just want you to be able to see. Okay, so I've got my Delaware. I'm going to offset. You can see down here it's curved. I would like it to have an actual corner, okay? And then I don't think that it needs to be this thick. So I'm just reducing the offset distance. You can use the slider or you can use these little tabs, okay? All right, so now what you have is an offset around your shape or your state, okay? Now, let's say I fill this in. If I was going to cut this like this, it would cut fine, right? And I could weed out this middle part here. This, let's see which fills. This red part I could weed out, and I would be left with and then I would weed out the white around it, and I would be left with the little mini frame. However, if you try to get a visual on this in Silhouette Studio, this is what you get. So instead, what you need to do is select both the offset and the original, and I want you to right click and make a compound path. What that does is it makes the frame. The only way you can weld into a frame is to make it a compound path first, okay? So right now, this inner part is not white, it's transparent, see? All right, so now I can take
I can open another text box, and I'm going to type out home again, just because I'm showing you guys this. All right, pick your font. I'm going to use the So Fancy font. And this one has glyphs. This is a free commercial use font from our sister site, So Fancy. So if you're interested, go ahead over and grab that to download. And I'm going to change the H because, like I said, it's got some glyphs, some fun little extra characters, okay? And then you want to weld this together, all right? So that it links all together and it's not cutting, the H isn't cutting into the O, blah, blah. All right, right click, weld. Okay. Now, what you have are your two pieces, right? So what I want you to do now is figure out the size of home, okay? And you're also going to rotate it. Hopefully, your state has a natural place that this would go. Obviously, for me, I'm going to put it down here. I think it's a little bit too big. I'm just going to find the spot that I want to put it, okay? Now, don't weld yet. If you weld right now, this is what's going to happen. And don't weld. I'm showing you what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. You don't want that. Or maybe you do. I don't want that. I want it to look like this over here where the parts in between are removed. So I'm going to undo this, okay? And before I weld home into my state base, what I'm going to do is a little trick. I'm going to go over to my Draw a Box tool, and I'm going to draw a box, and I'm going to make the box just slightly smaller than the width of my text, okay? Now, I'm going to move home out of the way. I'm going to select the box and the frame. Are you with me? Okay. Open up the scariest of scary panels, modify, and click subtract all. If it doesn't do what you want, because sometimes modify doesn't, you just click undo, okay? It's okay. Now, you're going to move home back where you want it. You need to make sure that this piece down here is overlapping slightly, okay? Same with down here. And then you're going to weld. Now is where you're going to weld. So you're going to select your home and your state, and you're going to weld, either right click weld or go up to your top toolbar and weld. Okay, now it's welded together. If you have any little issues, like we can see this E is going to drive me nuts, see how it's squared off there? That's okay. We can double click, and when we get access to these edit points, you can then manipulate them yourself, okay? All right. You can delete them, which is what I'm going to do. Delete the points. Okay, we don't need some of these points. And that, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to delete this one. Okay, and what it allows you to do is just clean up any little spots that you want. And now, when you cut this, okay, you have created a frame. This is a frame, remember, I'm putting it over here so you can see that it's not filled in white, with home welded in. And this would be the same no matter what you wanted to do, whether it was a square frame, or anything that you want to weld text into. You need to make sure that the frame, the offset that you create, is first a compound path, and then you can weld text into it, or another shape, or whatever it is you want. Okay? All right, guys, so state face is the font I used to get the state shapes, and then So Fancy font, which is free over on our sister site, commercial use, you can use it however you want, is the text that I used for home. And like I said, there's a bunch of glyphs you can use for that, okay? All right, guys, go practice and let me see your home state shapes. Have fun.